get
It's
into
your
it.
boy Buzz Lightskin, and then we got our boy Bias Elias at the bottom of me. Got another review for Ironheart episode 4, a review and a recap of what we thought, and maybe a few tangents involved as well. So let's get into it. So the first thing I have is they finally addressed the elephant in the room as to why Riri didn't call Wakanda for help, and Natalie told her to call Shuri. So they finally addressed that.
I'm still not rocking with it, but I tell you one thing. I do enjoy that they included it. I do like that they included it, and they give you that, like, the closure towards why she's not contacting Shuri, even though she still should have. Like, your family's in danger.
Yeah, that was kind of the dislike that I had. I was like, all right, the reasoning is kind of meh. Right, you can throw one out there. You can throw one out there. You could go next.
Well, actually, I want to talk more on that, right? So, like, you remember I had brought it up in the previous episode. Like, why is she not contacting Shuri? Like, this is a big deal. Like, your suit is not working the way you want it to work. You're dealing with entities that you have no idea what's going on. Call Shuri, bro. Like, I just, we'll go to the next one, because I'm just gonna keep harping on that. Like, it don't make sense. It's a loophole. I just want to say, before we even get anywhere, right? I just want to get this theory off. Well, it's not really a theory. I do. Just based off of what we've seen in episode 4, it's alluding to her making a deal with Mephisto. And the reason I say that is because, we read the Spider-Man comics. You know what happens in the Spider-Man comics, where he makes the deal after he marries Mary Jane, and it's to not know her. Pretty much, Mephisto gives him the deal to not know her in order to get his life back, pretty much. And in regards to this, I think that Mephisto is going to give her a deal based off of how everything is going. Everything has just been going to shit, right? Everything is going bad for her, and I think that with everything going bad, at some point she's gonna either meet whatever the entity is that is dealing with that cape, because we see what happened later in the episode and who they're alluding to finally. But with that being said, I do think that with all these bad things happening to her, with Joe getting arrested, with John dying, with her, I don't know if it's her, I still don't know if it's her sister or if that guy's her brother. I don't know what's going on with that family dynamic, but with that's going bad. With her mom, that's going bad. Like, a lot of different things are going bad, and they're gonna substitute her for Peter Parker in making that deal to get her old life back.
Natalie's brother, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
but so they're not sisters?
No, they're not sisters.
Okay.
Xavier's, it's Natalie's brother.
Because I was like, through the whole episode, I'm like, whenever I see him, especially in this last episode, in episode 4, I'm like, there's no way that this is her stepbrother or brother-in-law. I don't know. I'm confused. I was confused. I'm like, this can't be her stepbrother, and they got that romantic connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the wrong message.
Natalie is Riri's best friend, and Xavier is Natalie's brother. That's why he had her headphones.
It's making sense. It's all adding up. I might be a little slow on this one. I'll take that. She actually slept in that suit too.
Yeah, she slept in the suit because she was that scared. She was like, "Yo, he's really about to come for me. He's coming for all my family." And now that's the influence. Now I have to create these watches to protect everybody that I love, because you saw that she gave one to her. She gave one to her mom. She gave one to Xavier, and she's like, "Just put these on. I can't tell you what it is." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And it was funny because the way that she built it just reacts to any gunshot sound, which I think is kind of cool, but also kind of crazy, because the TV went off and then you just hear her mom scream, which causes her to jump out the bed and bust in the door, like they said. Which I did. I did like that reference. That's actually good.
That's good. See, but so that goes back to the interesting side of the show. Like, it goes to the whole dynamic of the show. I think the people who don't like this show are people who just can't understand it, right? Like, you might not be used to hearing gunshots outside of your window, in the middle of the night, to then wake up in the morning and see on the news that somebody in your area was just murdered. Like, you might not be used to that. You know what I'm saying? So you might not understand where her fears lie. My point is to just be more compassionate towards the situation going on. Like, this is good storytelling. Like, if you take all that out, if you take all of the the things that we relate to out, the story is still good.
But you have to include, because like you said in the last episode, like, this is Chicago. Like, shit is gonna pop off.
If there was no gunshots, it would be unrealistic. Like, it would be like, it's Chicago, bro. Like, come on. We need Chief Keef in the next one. Like, I don't come on. Alright, so basically the next part that I would probably bring up is the magic.
That's where I was going to go next. That's where I was going to go next too.
I'll tell you one thing. I love that whole like, so I loved it, but I have my gripes. I'm gonna have my gripes, right? I love that they incorporated the magic, that they just went straight into it, started to do the Doctor Strange magic, and it's just out of left field. It was just out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? And she went to Carmitage and got training and dropped out, whatever the case may be. The way that she conveyed the fear for the cape or whatever she brought in that's what we want to see. We want to see, don't tell us, just talk. I mean, just let the
story
let the acting
itself.
do let it speak for itself. Let the show speak for itself, right? We still don't know what the entity is, right? But we know that the entity is old. We know that the entity, it can't be destroyed. Like it predates whatever our existence is. It predates that. The only problem I have with that, I want to hear your thoughts on the whole magic scene.
As far as like what you were talking about, the magic stuff, I like the inclusion of Zelma. Like, you know, she knew how to do magic, which I was not expecting at all. That kind of caught me off guard. I was like, all right. And then I did some research on that character, which is not a spoiler at all.
I got you.
So basically, she, in the comics, Zelma is trained by Doctor Strange. So I think that even after this series, we can see this character 100% return. So what they're alluding to, and I want you to do some research. I'm giving you some homework after this for you to go and look at that, because that's something I think you'd enjoy.
That's fire. See, I didn't know that. You see, I did not know that was she a trainee or she a like somebody that has powers, and like Doctor Strange comes across her or something like that.
I think it's something, I forgot the exact name of it. I think it's like the School of Strange.
I'm gonna do the research. I'm gonna do the research.
Yeah, there's a couple people involved, and she is one of those key people.
Bad say, because that does sound good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It sounds like she's coming back for Doctor Strange 3, right?
I'm certain
that just got the gears turning. Yeah, got the gears turning now. Yeah, for sure. I think what you said before in the previous episode about I'm thinking more Brand New Day at the time, right? I'm thinking Spider-Man Brand New Day. Obviously, Mephisto would make the deal with Peter, and that's when he comes. Nobody knows who he is when he comes back, and they kind of did that story in No Way Home. So now they're doing the story with Riri, and I don't think that has anything to do with it. But I do think that Zelma could possibly be in the Doctor Strange 3. I think what you said before in the previous episode about it being either Brand New Day or Doctor Strange 3. I think Doctor Strange 3 is the more realistic way we can go after this show. I think that's going to be how we got WandaVision, and then we got Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
Like, and technically that was like a direct sequel to WandaVision. I think that we're going to get something similar to that in Ironheart going into Doctor Strange 3. But the question is, when will we see Doctor Strange 3? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't want to sit around lingering around waiting for Doctor Strange 3 with these characters in it, because I don't think that I think these characters are great for this show, but in the grand scheme of Doctor Strange 3, I don't think I would want to wait 2-3 years to then see these characters return. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, and I'm right with you, because I'm trying to figure out where they're gonna appear next, because that makes the most sense. But like, at the same time, why wait all these years? Because when are we even gonna get that movie? I don't know. Like, what is that, 2028? So
yeah, we gotta look up the timeline. Because that the timeline is not finite. They change it every year. Every year at Disney Expo, the D23 thing, they always change it. We're about to get another one. So
they already got to change. So they already pushed. Yeah, they already pushed the Avengers movie. So who knows?
I think I think you called that one, the Doctor Strange 3 one. I wasn't even thinking Doctor Strange 3. And he, when he meets who was it that he met?
Clea.
So yeah. So I think that's a clear direction. I think you definitely called that one. Definitely called that one. So do you have any more thoughts on the magic?
There is another thought I have, but we can move into another one of yours.
Well, I can't get over it. Like, I don't understand how people don't like this, right? Because I cannot get over the aura farming with her getting in and out the suit. I think her getting in and out the suit is so, like, just the way, because she's so small, right? So they fit her in there perfectly. So I don't know what it is about it, but that aura farming just works. Like, I love it. Seeing her get in and fly off or get out quickly, slowly, whatever, it just looks good.
It does. It really does.
Like, I like it.
So here's another thing I like that they did, because this is something I was looking for. I wanted to see like more about how Parker ended up like that, like, kind of a little origin for him. And in the flashback, Parker was like, you could see Parker was kind of timid when they were like doing the robbery, and John was the one who was like, all right, I'm ready to pull the trigger. And you can see that's not how Parker is now, how he's always ready to run into some trouble or ready to set that shit off. He wasn't like that at all. So like, you can tell that they're setting up like how he became so dark, where this came from, and how he ended up with the hood.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was something that John said. I wish I would have wrote it down, right? There was something that John said makes you think that he was directly influenced by Mephisto. And I need to go back and watch it. If anything, next time I'll remember this in episode 5 when we do do the review, I'll bring it back up. But there was something that he said that alludes to him being directly influenced by whoever is the entity or whatever the case may be. But you can tell, like she said, that cape, usually something like that would, if we seen a magical entity like that, it would possess the person that it's on, right? But she said that it influences, it doesn't possess. That type of magic influences. So he's being, like you said, that's very astute, because you notice that he was a bit timid. He's a little different. You know what I'm saying, and I mean, it kind of, some of it showed when he was talking with. Actually, no, I think it was the opposite. When he was talking to John before the heist in episode 3. You're right. It was the opposite, where Parker was the one that was like gung ho, ready to go, and John was the one that was like pulling back, like, yo, we don't know this dude. Like, we gotta chill out. We don't know him. And that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think it influences feelings that he may be having, and like kind of making him just jump the gun instead of like being more cool-headed as he used to be. So right. I'm gonna have to see like, where did this come from.
Listen, we got some, we cooking with something right now. Like, when it comes to Joe, bro, like, that's a whole nother can of worms. He's the real. All right, so you know how I just mentioned in the beginning, I mentioned the whole theory that I had about if it is Mephisto or whatever the entity that we're gonna see at some point is. I believe that we're getting some type of, like, she's gonna make a deal, and it's going to basically either rewrite everything that's happening right now in the show, or rewrite certain things that happened in the show. And in doing so, that's what I believe that could happen. That's what I think could happen in the future. But one thing that I noticed is when Parker pulls up on Joe in the prison, it kind of changed my mind, because I do see like the little blur, it's like blurry, like up in the corner, like right here, or across the whole top of the screen or whatever. In every episode you can see it's a little blurry. It's as if we're in a dream, right? Next time when you watch an episode again, just see if you can see it's like a lens effect, you know what I mean? Like, where how I got my background blurred out. They take the top and the bottom. They had it in WandaVision as well, and they blur it just very, like, ever so slightly, so that it looks like you get that hint that, like, we're in a dream, like this is not real.
I probably didn't even notice that.
So that's something that like, you notice things like that, because like when I was in film, they teach you about all these little things that you put inside the show or movie just to convey a feeling. And in doing so, it's something that I noticed, that at the top and the bottom it has like that, the same thing. It was in WandaVision as well, and it happened when he pulled up on Joe in the prison, though, to get back on track. That's when I kind of, I'm half and half now on that theory, because the whole him pulling up on Joe means that they're trying to go somewhere with this. And then we see Joe altering his body, something that we mentioned before in the past episode. We see Joe, he's out now, he's free at the end of the episode, and now he's gonna alter his body to do whatever he's gonna have it do, right? I don't know what it is yet, because they only showed him about to get everything done.
And I feel like with that, my theory is right. Like, I just had a feeling like my theory in the previous which one, I think it was either 2 or 3, I said that Ezekiel getting mixed up with Riri was gonna, I had a feeling she was probably gonna mess up, and he was probably gonna become one of her villains. So I feel like with Parker, going to scoop him up out of jail, this is a jump start into his villainy. He's gonna go the exact direction that I thought he was, because I didn't really think my first theory was gonna happen. I didn't really think, he's gonna be the guy in the chair. I think 9 times out of 10, because most things seem to be going wrong with Riri, he's gonna become a villain, and he's gonna add more pressure and more anxiety to what she already has going on. Because and you bring it to my attention now that you have the theory that she's gonna make a deal of some sort. I feel like this is just piling up more reasons to go towards that.
You know what? Here's the thing, right? I think being that this is paying off, him altering his body is paying off now. I think, see, now I'm convinced. Like, now you just actually convinced me. I think that I'm gonna double down now, right? I think that he is gonna make a deal, and he's gonna go all out. He's gonna cause a lot of problems. Parker's gonna cause a lot of problems that you can't rewrite, or that you can't live with, right? Somebody's gonna probably die, maybe her mom or Natalie's brother, and once those things happen, she's going to meet up with whatever the entity is. Let's just say it's Mephisto. She's gonna meet up with him, make a deal, go back in, maybe not go back in time, but maybe have something similar to Peter, where like people forget about her, or who knows? Like, I don't know, but some type of deal is gonna be made, and then we're gonna get she's gonna go. I would say she goes back in time, and we get a good Joe, somebody who she can work with. So now I'm gonna double down. So you have your theory on the opposite of him being the villain, and I'm a double down on the old theory of thinking that he's gonna be like the guy in the chair.
I just feel like setting it back and doing like a time thing or making him good again is kind of a cop out. Like
it is.
I kind of like this. Like it's not a perfect story. It's not, oh, she's not getting everything she wants. She doesn't get a brand new suit, blah blah blah, whatever, and now everything's perfect. I like that. I like that they're showing the hard work that it took. They're showing how hard it was for her, and they're making it tragic. Like they don't do that a lot if you think about it.
I agree 100%. It's character.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we need more of.
I have, I wanted to see, since we kind of got the tease, I wanted to see who he was. Did a little comic book look up of him as well. And without giving any spoilers, he does go by the name Zeke Stain after, the change is going with him. And I'll just leave it at that for now.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I guess that's why there was an emphasis on him saying, we can turn you into a Zeke Stain. Like, it's mad on the nose.
Yeah, another thing that kind of tops on all her struggles is Xavier even seeing Natalie. It kind of set him off because he's like, hey, that's my sister. Like, why would you do that? He didn't even realize, he doesn't even know because he didn't ask her because he was too heated that she made that by accident.
Right.
She didn't do it on purpose.
She didn't get to explain. Yeah. Like, it's good that you brought that up because it brings me to the emotional side of the show, right? And this is another reason why the show is good because it can invoke emotion, right? TV shows rarely do that. This show is able to evoke emotion and her having the conversation with her mom, not only about her stepdad, but about her as a human being, as an adult. Right? Like, not only that, but her talking to Natalie and her talking to Natalie's brother. Like, the emotion is there and it works. Her going through it mentally you see it. Like, it's being showed and not told. And that's all I ask for. I think that this is, for people to say this is a bad show, bro, it's disingenuous. I think people are just not watching, honestly. I think they're not watching it, and people, when they do watch it, they don't understand what's going on.
They're either not watching it or they're just seeing bits and pieces and not even seeing the whole picture. But that's neither here or there. But like, another thing with the Xavier situation is I feel like he's gonna be placed in danger because they made it a big point for him to throw off his bracelet, and walk off. So I'm like, all right, better chill. I don't know what's gonna happen to you because you don't got that bracelet to protect you.
Oh man! But then that you just see when you say that, right? Because I wasn't thinking about the bracelet until you said that, and I thought it was just I'm throwing it off because I'm mad at you. You know, that's my sister you playing with. It's her life. You know what I'm saying? And what she stood for and what she lived for, it's supposed to die, not die with her, but it's supposed to live because she's died, right? That whole, like, him being a victim or becoming a victim, it plays into the theory that I had. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. It plays into that theory that something's gonna happen to him because her mother still has the bracelet on. Something's gonna happen to him that causes Riri to make that deal. I'm tripling down on it now. I did like at the end when they played the Erykah Badu.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I noticed that too. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I like that. They know what they're doing.
The song choice in the show has been pretty good.
Can we just give it up? Like, that part where they just instantly, like, they do the whatever hand thing and then they switch from the natural plane to the other plane of
and
existence.
They went upside down.
Like, I was like, what the fuck? What's happening? Like, that was so fast. Like, and the mom is in there too, so now she's experiencing it with Riri. I think that's very important as well because her relationship with her mom is important. I think her mom being in it, we could see her like in the movie. I think if we see Riri in the movie, we could see her mom in the movie as well.
Yeah, because you can see like the relationship is starting to get better. She's starting to open up more to her.
Yeah. And that's what it also takes. So that's another factor of if she does make a deal and say if she does go back in time, everything that she's just done is rewritten.
You got anything else?
No, I think that was it. I think that was everything I have for episode 4. All right, so let me get your rating. What you got for this?
So I'm gonna give it an 8.5, and my reasoning for the 8.5 is because I think everything was pretty much there, but it was lacking the action picture of it, which I kind of understand why they did that because they're saving it. Yeah. It set up a lot of things like him throwing down the watch, and I think it's definitely setting up more. Can't be mad at it.
So with that, I give it an 8. Right? I think it was a little bit. I think she kind of. So one of the other issues that I might have had with it is it's a nitpick, right? I know it's a nitpick, but it's her like overact on being anxious, right? I think she does a good job in the later part of the episode where she's able to full blown be anxious, like with the guy there and with her mom, right? It gives her a reason to be anxious. But I think in the moments where she just has to be jittery, it has to be like how, like, you remember how Tony was when I'm not gonna use Tony. I'll just talk about her. I think her acting during those scenes is a little bit forced, just a little bit. That's just my nitpick though. I think it was a little bit forced, and it could have been better, or it could have been directed better. I think she's doing a phenomenal job as Riri, but I think that could have been flipped a little bit to be directed a little bit better, if that makes sense. It's hard though, because it's not, like I said, when she's dealing with other people, like her mom, or dealing with the witches, or dealing with Natalie's brother, Xavier, you can see she's able to work off of them, and you get those emotions riling up and you start feeling it. But when she's by herself, it's like, I'm trying to bear with you on the anxiety part, but it's a little bit disconnected, just a little bit. It's not too much, still good, but you know.
Yeah, been your boy Buzz Lightskin, and then we got Bias Elias, and this has been another review and recap. Please like and subscribe, send your comments, whether it's good or bad. I'll take it.
Please.
So,
yeah
all right.